Welcome to Manifesting Through Motherhood. I'm your host, Lindsay Williams, a self-development mentor, entrepreneur and author, dedicated to helping busy mums like you manifest success, balance and create passive income on your terms. With years of experience in mindset, manifestation, fitness, parenting and business growth, I share simple yet powerful strategies to help you transform your life without the overwhelm. If you're ready to up-level your mindset, build a thriving business and create the life you truly deserve, you're in the right place. You can also find all my books on Amazon, packed with tools to help you manifest and grow. So don't forget to follow the podcast to be updated on all new episodes. And let's get going. Welcome back, guys. How is everybody doing? I thought I'd do a podcast after my birthday. I had a great day, went out with my mum and friend, and yeah, it was just nice to just go for a little bit of retail therapy and switch off from work. And that's what I have done, and that's what I will be doing over bank holiday. Obviously, if you're listening to this later on, maybe next year, then the time has passed. But this is what I wanted to talk about today, is how we can improve our productivity by just doing some simple steps which will recharge your manifesting power. Sometimes I feel like we can over manifest. We've got everything, we've manifested everything, and we're like, oh, I've done it, it's there, I've manifested everything. And that's what I feel like sometimes. Yes, it's good to get more things coming through, but I need continuity, I need the flow. I couldn't cope with just big things keep coming in all the time, because I feel like the way my brain works, it's too much dopamine. I do run off dopamine, but I do need productivity. But it's so hard. So today I went for a mini procedure. So my mum picked me up and she took me back to hers for some breakfast. So it was really nice to be looked after. So I've had the contraception. I've not had anything in for 9 years. So I've had that re-put in again, just purely for helping me with my flow, because I feel like as you get older, every month I dread it. I'm like, oh, it's the pain and tiredness and it's uncomfortableness, and it's just not what you want to be bothered with, especially when you're busy and I'm running my business and I'm trying to keep focused. So I thought, I've done a lot of research, spoke to my doctor. I was like, right, I'm going to try this now. I'm hopeful. It's 3 years. I've had it before. I conceived my son. I had it in for 2 cycles. So I think it was 4 years, then 4 years. And then I came off it and started trying for Harrison, and then got pregnant straight away, quicker than I expected. But yeah, I don't think it's any going to... Well, do you know what? I had a bit of a moment with my husband, and I was like, about a baby. And he looked at me and went, I'll be 60 by the time it's going to... Well, because he's 55 this year. By the time they'll be going to school or high school. I said, well, I won't be 60. But then, you know what? You've got to think about the other side, haven't you? If you're going to be a parent. I love babies. I love the cuddling and all that. But Harrison does take a lot of time. And it's not like I feel like I've still got a baby sometimes. So I've got to think about the gratitude around that. And he needs me. And, the effects of, imagine having another child now at 44, and, my sugar levels could go up again, and my fibromyalgia would be. So there's so many pros and probably more cons in that sense, because I've got a bit more of a life now, as in I've not got the sleepless nights, and my body's feeling a lot healthier and fitter and more balanced. It was hard pregnancy in my 20s. I had the neck pain constantly, the heartburn, the back pain, everything. I had a C-section, you name it, I had it. Could you imagine that in my 40s, my body, I'd be what do you call it, a geriatric parent. And my friend just had a baby, she's my age. And I'm oh, and we're all queuing. She's oh. I said, are you going to have the other one? And she's oh, I don't know. She's I'm going to have another one straight away because we want to. I was you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to rip the Band-Aid off. But you don't realise your body does change a lot. Your muscles and everything. Before I had my son, I was doing a lot of karate and kickboxing every night. I was doing a lot of high intensity workouts. But you can't do that when you've had a section. and I just felt fatigued. I feel like I've been fatigued for like 16 years, my body, and that I feel like that's where the fibromyalgia, everything's come from, like subsequently from like so many different like challenges through my life. The fibromyalgia, I really don't want to be in any flare-ups. I'm feeling in a bit of a better, it's in the background but in a better place. So anyway, that's a bit of my personal life, but it's a podcast and I do share some of my life. You don't want to know all my details, do you? But you might be thinking about having this or contraception. Maybe that's something I'll get somebody on the podcast for, is, you know, looking at contraception in our 40s. Obviously I don't want any unwanted babies, do I? I think my mum would go great, wouldn't you, Mum? She'll be listening to this. Even though she said a bit ago, oh, I'd love another grandbaby. I'm like, would you? Would you really want to have two sleeping over? I don't think so. It's my mum's got a lot of pain. It's widespread pain. It's really hard. And I feel like I'm in a good place with my husband, and like we can do things. I just wish he was like maybe 10 years younger. Then maybe a couple of years ago we probably like would have thrown ourselves into it. But you know what? I let the universe guide me. I manifested the baby. I wrote it in my book. Everything that I did came true. I followed simple like manifestations to get to where I wanted to get to, and I had visualised this little boy on my shoulder, blue-eyed, blonde-haired little boy, and I just visualised. I just knew what it was going to look like. It was really funny, and like how he was going to turn out, and I knew it was going to be special. There was going to be some special qualities about him. I just knew. Something was saying to me, you're not going to have a normal child, as in, he's not going to leave home. He's not going to go out and play with his friends like a child like you did. He's going to be completely different to you. He's going to need a lot of support. He's chosen you. That's what I feel like. There was somebody saying something to me, and I wrote that in my book. But yeah, you have these thoughts, don't you? And you have them thoughts when you're having a baby. You don't know what's going to happen. But I didn't know he had a rare genetic mutation, and I'm glad I didn't know, because I was speaking to Lauren, who's in Scotland, and she found out by having an amniotic test, because they thought it was something else on a scan. But like, she's always going to be looking for something now, and this is the hardest thing now. If I'd have knew that, I would have pinpointed everything straight away. I would have, and this is the thing, I could never get a diagnosis. But luckily I got an EHCP, and luckily I got all the support, psychologists at school. They just couldn't pinpoint what it is, because it's got characteristics of everything, and he's got like really, behind global delay. So it might look his age. But to be honest, when you look at another like nearly 16-year-old, they also look a lot more grown up. They've got like deeper voices, but I think that's coming. So I'm not looking forward to that. Sweet 16 this year. So, but let's go back to productivity. How we can improve that is, for me, like, firstly, if you've got your cycle, track your cycle. And sometimes, even if you've not got your cycle, we still kind of get the cycle. I've got friends going through the menopause, had hysterectomies, and I kid you not, we're still in the same cycle, and they say, I still feel the same as when I'm having a cycle. Then you get that time of your month where you just feel like unproductive, you've got brain fog, maybe a bit of burnout. Just take those days. And I started to do that. I started to put it in my diary when my last cycle was. And I thought, so I'm going to give myself, it got bad last year, was like, I'm going to give myself, and it kept falling on like Thursday, Friday, my busiest days. And I thought, I'm going to have a day off. And I'm trying to like hide it from my clients, because it's unprofessional. I don't want them to know. But some clients are like, you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm just got a bit of period pains. And they're like, oh, I'm like that today. So you kind of have that like common ground. But tracking your cycle is really important. Making sure we know when it's coming, or when we think it's coming, and what we can do around that, how we can be a little bit more at ease with ourselves, because sometimes we can put too many things on. Like going to the gym is just a no-go, and doing the things that I want to do. Having some nice baths, and just improving your self-care around that time. Because if we're trying to be product, like say if we're doing a goal, like we've time blocked for the week, we've done all our micro goals, but then our cycle appears, well, that productivity is going out the window. And why should we keep pushing our productivity? Why should we keep pushing ourselves? So just let go of that pedal and just let it flow for a few days. Just forget about everything. And sometimes we have like little mental blocks, and we have times where we question ourselves. I get a bit down in the dumps. I can tell, as I feel like as I'm getting older, my hormones are a lot wobblier. So I do monitor those, because you're trying to be happy and smiley and trying to be there, and if you work with the public, you're trying to be yay, and people expect that. There's a lot of pressure on us to always be bubbly. I feel like I've got a lot of pressure on me, because if I'm feeling a kind of way, people see it straight away, and I'm just feeling like maybe a little bit hormonal, maybe I've got a lot going on with my son. So my mum took me and picked me up, made me breakfast, bringing me cups of tea, my son's jumping on me, and she's like, I don't know how you cope with him, and he's on the floor, he's messing and mucking around, and trying to jump on me and jump on my mum's sofa, and he's like only 5'8". It's huge, and I'm like, oh, he's so heavy, and I'm like, oh, my mum's like, we're both just shaking our heads. I went, do you know what? It's time to go. So I said, and she's like, can you ever relax? And I can't. People don't get it. Like, I can't relax and switch off, because I feel like he's winding me up in the back. Like, you know those. This podcast is sponsored by the My Nora app. If you or someone you love is experiencing coercive control, you need to know about the My Nora app. Created by Emma Davey, a survivor and advocate. This powerful app helps you safely collect evidence, protect your well-being, and take back control, discreetly and securely. Download the My Nora app today and start reclaiming your power. Just search My Nora in your app store now. Jewellery boxes, where do you wind them up? I feel like my son is constantly. I try and have a bit of a breather, because it's like ADHD characteristics. He is like constantly non-stop, and then he's been going on about like so he's back on trains at the minute, so trains, and so I've been doing. So I ended up ordering like this train on eBay, couldn't find the other one. Then he's been McDonald's mad, so he's wanted every single like plastic character from the Mario movie, and there was like one that we couldn't find, so I had to order and buy it off eBay. He was not letting it go. I even had people looking for it until I found it. So it's these relentless little things. So your mind's just like constantly like this. So I do good to be productive with a child with additional needs. Honestly, we need our pat ourselves on the back, because when you've got a child with additional needs or any disabilities, and we are running our businesses and we are showing up and smiling for everyone, it takes a lot to do that. Another thing for me, I slept terrible. My husband was on night, so my son wanted to sleep with me last night. I could not sleep. I could not switch off. It was about, I would kept like watching my phone, like watching stuff on YouTube, trying to fall asleep. I just felt really restless, but that's probably because of the cycle. I was thinking about this implant, started to feel anxious about it. I'm like, why am I anxious about this? So assessing sleep, you can't be productive if you've got lack of sleep. I feel tired today, and I'm like, because I'm sat here recording, looking at my eye massager. So you know what? I'm going to put my head massager on. My husband's is going to get up soon. He's just on Friday night, Saturday night working this week, and I'm going to. He's going to get up soon. I'm going to have some tea. He's going back to work, but I'll probably be shattered tonight. It's really hard to sleep when he's not there, even though my son's there. So that might poor. It's poor when your sleep's poor. So thinking about your sleep, how we can improve our sleep hygiene, what we can do. Like I was thinking, if I had caffeine, well, I had a cup of tea, but to be honest, caffeine doesn't really affect me that way. Sometimes we've got things going on, so brain dumping is really important, making sure we write everything down, because if we don't, then we've got like a tick, tick, tick list. Like me, you've probably got 100 tabs open. So to just think about what we're looking at. Can we go to bed a bit earlier? Like, can we have lies in? I'm like, I'm going to lie in tomorrow. I'm having a lie in on Monday. So my husband will be in at like 9:30 in the morning. So I'm going to try and sleep till, I never really sleep till a specific time, but I'll wake up, probably have a cup of tea, and then I'll go back to bed for a bit. But if I can sleep till 9, I'm going to try. 8 o'clock's great if I can sleep till 8. And then Monday he'll be here. So I'm just going to have a day. And do you never feel like guilty? Like I said to him, I feel guilty, like I could do to like clean my car, but I've got to watch my arm. It says like 24, 48 hours. So luckily it's my less dominant arm. But like I say, it's been bleeding already. So it's just one of those things. It's going to heal. It's in there now. I'm hoping it's starting to work. Another thing we can look at is micro tasks, just looking at, instead of giving us big tasks all the time, even like business tasks. Sometimes I do my planning for the week with my business, and sometimes I think, can't be bothered doing that, like even like just doing business reels and posts. I do batch a lot of posts, But sometimes I don't feel in the mood to show up and do stories, and I don't feel in the mood to post things. And I'm like, I know I need to do it to promote and push my podcast and my publishing side of my business. But I'm also running a business at home in my salon as well. So micro tasks for me as a mum, caring for somebody is really important. So I have got a little checklist. If I don't get it all done, I do the things. I do like an overall list of like what I could do to be doing. Like even that's just doing an audit on my website. I was checking some the other day and I was like, oh, these links are so corrupted and there's small pictures on them. Like, oh, I need to get rid of those pictures. They're not even. I've had like a brand shoot since then. So just looking at like tasks, you can like maybe downsize a little bit. Another thing for me is it's hard. I'm a scroller. I'm in the scroll hole of hell. We do it because we do it. There's no reason sometimes we do it because we watch something and we do it. So less scrolling. Do not disturb. I do that at night because I have to. Because last night I thought, even though I was watching, well, actually I had my iPad on, I was watching YouTube. And I like these like long lost family reunions. I'm obsessed with them. So I was watching one of those and I got on to the next one. I thought, I used to fall asleep by now. My husband's like, you fall asleep literally if he's there. I think it gives off some pheromone. So as soon as I lie on him, bang him out. It's something that he radiates, but when he's not there, I struggle. I don't know, maybe it's like a comfort thing. So yeah, so I still had my phone on Do Not Disturb. But because even he said like, oh, you didn't text good night, did you fall asleep? I'm like, this morning he came in as I was going out, so I've not really spoke to him yet. I was like, no. I said, not really. No, I said, no, I stayed up really late, I've had a rubbish sleep. He was like, oh, I'll speak to you later then. I'm like, yeah, you get to sleep, then you can try and sleep. It's really hard to sleep in the day, but I have had my son out for most of the day, which is really hard because he just wants to play and do things, but I'm going to try and take him out tomorrow and do something. Also, I've wrote down like let go of the pedal a little bit, let go of the brakes. People expect far too much from us, but we've just got to let go sometimes because if we don't, I always see myself in my car with my foot on full gas, like just let go of the gas a little bit, like that petrol just go away because sometimes if we don't, we go into full on burnout. So just let go of that pedal, it's like drop it down a gear. Snacking. Sometimes we have a lot of sugars throughout the day. It's not making us productive. We're not eating well. We need our good fats for our brain productivity. We need them superfoods for our inflammation. I do try to eat. Obviously, I've got to be careful that I don't put this 5 stone back on now. So I had a bacon butter this morning. Do I feel guilty? No, because yesterday I went to Primark, got myself some clothes. My friend got me some pyjamas. And some gorgeous leopard print ones. And I looked and thought, they're size 8 these. I'm like, oh, she's like, she thinks I'm nice and slim now. So I was like, I was buying size 18 to 20 for the room last year. And they fit me. But the pyjamas as well, sometimes, like round the bust, they fit me because they've got some stretching. I was like, oh, got in. And I know it's not down to size, but I know once I start creeping to the next size, that's when my stones are going to start coming on. I bought some jeans, some like Primark jeans, size 10, shorts, and they just fit me nice. I think with jeans, you've got to be careful. I haven't been doing a lot of exercise, got to admit to that the last couple of weeks. Only because I've had this, my tooth's been healing. I went last week, so I've got to have some treatment done. And she's like, it's not healed yet. So she's like, you've got to just be careful because it had like a blood clot in it, so you've got to be careful that it's, not overdoing it. So tomorrow he's back on it. Set myself a little plan out. I definitely need to tone for those jeans for my legs because I've got some wobble bits because I lost the weight and I'm not 20 anymore. So it's just getting back to making sure I'm toning, but I do those anyway at night with my weights, my booty bands. I like to feel that burn. So just certain exercises you can do, and exercise boosts your productivity because you feel good, the endorphins are going good. The best time I can manifest is I'm on a treadmill, I've got my music in, I'm thinking of all these business ideas and what I want to do. Exercise, I feel like it just boots me up the bottom and it's like, come on Linz, let's do this and let's do that. And if we don't write our ideas down straight away, I'm always in my notes, voice noting and writing ideas down. Even for this podcast, I was like got things in my mind. I was writing things down for what I wanted to talk about. And this is how I have my inspiration for podcasts as well. Sometimes we can over manifest. We can, like, I do my daily manifestations, and sometimes we can over manifest where we've got too much going on and we're putting too much pressure on ourselves. We're asking the universe for far too much, and then if it doesn't come through, we're pressuring ourselves and like, it's not working, manifesting doesn't work, and then we start believing in manifesting, and then the universe is not going to give us what we need because it knows we're all overwhelmed. A lot of us are parents and we have a lot going on with our business, and then we become scatty, and people see it online. I see it all the time. I see coaches, people that are saying they're earning all this money. I see them falling this desperation, this like really poor mindset, and you can see it with social posts and the money mindset. Just let go of that flow, that pressure of money. Let the money flow just abundantly, because if sometimes we are stressing and we're saying we've got lack of money, we've got this, the universe starts bringing you that lack of money. So let's talk positively. We're not always going to have the same income every day. It's just going to be up and down, especially if you're on the online digital world. It can become such a rat race. Once we have like a cap of what we're earning, we want to earn more. Life just spirals and it just changes overnight. So I always say, like, be careful what you manifest for. Manifest what you want to receive, what you can cope with, what you can deal with. If you want a life like me, where you've got it just naturally flowing, then just take a chill with it all. Just do your daily manifestations and do lots of self-development, read lots of self-development books, listen to lots of podcasts. There's lots of more podcasts, more than my podcast, that you can just scroll in, manifesting, law of attraction, online. And we get inspiration all the time off other people. And there's always a different spin on it, isn't there? Have a day off. This has got to be key for me. So I'm not going back to work till, I was off Thursday, Friday, and I kid you not, I had so many people asking for appointments. I'm like, oh, it's my birthday. And oh, happy birthday. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not compromising. At one time, I'm like, oh, I'll just squeeze a client in. But I didn't do. I was strict, and yeah, I deserve a day off because I'm non-stop. And then I'll be off for half term. So I'll be non-stop now. And you forget to give yourself a day off, don't you? I think when you're self-employed. Another thing, you start putting that parent pressure on yourself, like, oh, I've got to be doing this, I've got to do every, extracurricular activity. Sometimes we think we have to be doing so much and watch what other people are doing and showing up for everybody, and we can't do it all the time. We've just got to be. Like today, I feel bad we've not took my son out anywhere. I've been at home and he's probably agitated and messing around because he's bored and wants to go on, but, my husband's asleep and I don't want him shouting. He doesn't have respect when he's asleep. I say, shh. And I'll text him going, shh. And the other week we were playing dens. I had to get the two maidens and put them on a new sofa and put blankets over them. And it was all right for a few hours, but then he just wants to go back in his bedroom. It's like a little flat up there. He's only 16. You don't want to be also playing with me all the time. Like, I'm trying to keep him motivated. But you're in that in-between bracket, aren't you? Like most 16-year-olds are out with their mates, making their own fun. But my son, I'm still trying to create fun and do things with him. But I don't get any time for me, so it's just, we just need to stop putting pressure on ourselves. Like, we all parent different, nobody's right, nobody's wrong, we have to learn from our mistakes, and we're all at different ages, we've all got different children and all that. We've got older children, you might be a grandparent with a child my age listening to this, and grandchildren. We're all different, we all parent different, but we shouldn't put any pressure on ourselves, should we really? And I've also got track your progress, big or small. So making sure that, you feel more productive if you're tracking, because it doesn't matter if it's a small win or a big win. Just make sure you're tracking it, because you are being productive without you realising. Even if it's just sorting out your diary. Like, I love doing my accounts for the week, doing my diary, cleaning it up, making sure I've got everything in place. So just little things like that do help me. I've also put drop what's makes you feel bleh. So drop things that you don't want to do. Like, if things are not feeling right, not aligned to you, just let go of them. It's not going to make you productive, is it? Showing up to things, or, even if you commit to the gym with your friends a couple of nights a week, you don't want to go. If you don't want to go that week, don't go. Like, if you're feeling that kind of a way, or you've committed to something, you're going to have to start saying no. If you've got to say no now, then we're in big trouble, aren't we? And we're not going to improve our self-development if we can't start saying no to other people just to help improve them. And that's what I feel like we do. We always help other people, but then we also compromise ourselves. And look at adding some fun, doing something. I went golfing, I went for something to eat, and I walked with my husband. So little things like add fun. It could be anything. Like I said, I went networking, I've got a collaboration with Kimmy and Alice in a couple of weeks, so I've got our podcasting planning day. That's going to be amazing. Just like little things like that. It's like things I'm looking forward to, and we're going to be helping like 6 incredible women to launch a podcast. We're doing it in person because obviously I do work online a lot now, but I love to do it in person because I am an in-person person. I like to train, but a lot of people want quick and easy. Like that's why I've got my courses on my website, because they're there if you want to launch a podcast and think about self-publishing. Because everyone's got an idea, but everybody doesn't always have the time and the funds to work with somebody like full-time. Productivity is also remembering the why we're doing it, if we're being productive, is there an end game to being productive this week? Do we have to be productive this week? We can be productive with our food and fitness, but do we have to be really productive in our business? Can we not just drop something for a week and just give it a little bit of a breather? Just if it's flowing nicely, don't keep changing it, because sometimes we try and change things and we try and move the goalposts and think, oh, actually, I'm a bit of an overachiever and I like to overachieve, but then I put far too much pressure on me. Like I was publishing loads of books and doing all this, doing all that, and I've had a bit of a chill. Even like I've not had any guests on for a while, and I've got guests that are coming on. And my mum actually said, "You've not had any guests on for a while." I said, "No, I've just been doing a little bit of solo on my own, and yeah, I've just been feeling in that type of mindset. And I've got people that I've signed up to come onto the podcast who will be coming on. So yeah, I just feel like you've got to do what's right for you and your podcast and your audience, and anyone that you want me to come on the podcast, anything that you're struggling with, send me a message. If you can add value to the podcast, then send me a message. And also look at, is our manifesting aligned? Because if it's not, we're not going to feel productive. So if we're manifesting something just because somebody next door is doing it or online's doing it or they've just done it, and like say if it's like someone just published a book and like, I want to do that, and like, do you really want to do it? Like, or do you just want to show up online like you've done it? It can take a little bit to get into, so you've got to make sure you're doing what you want to do, like not what other people are doing. And lastly, because I'm not going to go on forever, is focus on not overwhelming yourself for productivity, like optimization, because if things are overwhelming us, we're not going to be productive. We're going to dig ourselves down, and then it's just going to drop our manifestations. We're just going to be like, it's not working, not happy. This, like, why am I doing this? You start to re-question your whole existence and your own business model. Because sometimes people are so impatient when they say, oh, this is not working, that's not working. Like, you're not showing up right online. You're not being, consistent. You've got to be consistent. You've just got to keep pushing yourself forwards and showing up, and like the proof will come to fruition if you keep showing up, being consistent, set off like what you're going to do for the week, especially if you've got your own business. And if you've not got your own business, just try not overwhelm yourself going to work. If you're doing like 40 hours at work and then you've got things going on at night, you've got to outsource. If you've got a partner, you've got to start asking, because I have so many female friends that have partners and they're like single mums. I'm like, I get like I'm a high horse about it, because I'm like, no, because you're with a person, like you've got to, it's so easy just to take over sometimes. But when you're in a relationship and you brought a child into the world, we've got to we're not super like mums all the time, are we? We've got to let the other person do it. And that's sometimes just letting go a tiny bit and letting the other person make decisions. And they might not be the right decisions. They might pick out the wrong clothes or do the wrong thing. But I've stopped being controlling and I've let go so much as my husband's been on these shifts that now I used to say, have you done this, have you done that? And he'd be like, oh, you drive me mad, and like you I go the opposite way, but now I don't even think about it, and he thinks for himself. So he can't actually think for himself. I'm like underestimating a 54-year-old man that he can't do things because I'm a control freak. And I will admit that I'm a control freak because I've got an ADHD brain. He hasn't, and he's got a lot to put up with me. But he's like, no, you're fine. He went, you just do crazy things sometimes. I'm like, sometimes I shake my head because sometimes you're like banging around and you're doing all these things. Slow down. So could you imagine if he was like me? My head there'd be plates spinning on the ceiling. So that's how I think spinning plates is like, grab this, grab that, do that, do that. I would throw so many plates at him if I could. But he's also than me. I've got to remember that he's slowing down a little bit. He wants to retire soon and start just chilling. Well, he's not going to be chilling out, but he's going to be still in a carer's role. But he's a little bit more like, he don't respond to things like I do. He's so happy, he's so chilled, he's so appreciative of the smaller things in life, and I just love that quality about him. It's so nice sometimes if you've got a partner to look at those qualities and think, actually, what can I take from you and what can he take from me? We're not going to be the same, but it works. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know if any of this resonated with you. Like, it resonates with me every day, and I forget a lot of this myself, and I've been thinking about different things. I like write notes down. I get inspiration just coming to my brain. And do you know what? I've had inspiration today because I've given myself a little bit of a breather. So I thought, I'm going to record a podcast and I'll put it out straight away because it's on my mind. It's how I'm feeling. This is how I'm feeling at the present. So this is what I'm going to be taking forward myself. I do take action on my own things. So a lot of the episodes that I talk about is probably how I'm feeling that week, what I'm doing, and things will go up. I'll go back and revisit certain episodes and think, I've not spoke about that for a bit. Let's bring that back in to another episode, because I feel like we do go around in circles, don't we? Like 1 month we'll be going on about this and we're going on about that, and then we end up sometimes back in the same place. I haven't got back here when I put all these, implemented all these things like Lindsay's told me today, but we're just human. But we're not robots. We're just parents at the end of the day. Life doesn't always go to plan, but we do try our best. So anyway, have a great weekend, bank holiday weekend. Don't forget to come and follow me on my socials. You can buy my book, Manifesting Through Motherhood. It is on Amazon. Just put my name in. But you'll find me on all my socials. So there'll be a link to everything on there. It's on Kindle. But if you get, a hardback version, there's activities that you can do in there. And if you love pink as well, I love pink. So it's a pink book. I love it. I'm just looking at it now thinking, that's my book. I manifested that. That's what I worked towards doing. And I self-published it myself. So, I have been productive. My most productive year was that year I published my book and did all my things. People was like, teach me. And I'm like, I've always said I can never recreate that feeling again. Like when you pass your test, when you have your first child, you never get those feelings you can get. When you get married, people say they have the blues after. I have that woo. And you do, because your dopamine and your excitement's been that high that how can we keep going back for more? We're always trying to strive and look for productivity, ways of have that sense of achievement and self-acceptance. We're just humans, we do it. We're all guilty of doing that, but we live and learn, don't we? As we get older, we practice what we preach. We try to anyway. So anyway, I'm going to go now. And have a great weekend. Send me a message. Don't forget to share this podcast on your socials. And I will speak to you soon. Bye for now. If you're feeling called to go deeper, to align more, create more, and really step into that next version of you, you'll find everything you need in my link tree. From my book, Manifesting Through Motherhood, to powerful resources and ways we can work together, it's all there waiting for you. Come and find me on Instagram or Facebook. I love hearing what landed with you. Don't forget to follow the podcast, and if this episode spoke to you, please share it with someone who is on their own journey too. And happy manifesting.